You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What is going on, Cover Gang? NFL Week 9, and it is time to go over all of the 4 o'clock games, the prime time games. It's a good one this week, Eagles, Cowboys, as well as the Sunday night game, Bengals against the Bills, and then we're going to cover the Monday night game. If you haven't already, tune into our previous video where we went over all of the 1 o'clock games as well as the good game in Germany between the Chiefs and Jets, and watch our recap from last week. We're coming off yet another winning week, both up multiple units on last week's picks, and we are riding with the Steelers tomorrow night minus 2.5 at home. Justin will read each game off. We will give our takes on who we're taking as far as the spread goes and how much we're putting on each game.
First up, we got the Colts at the Panthers. This number's been around 2.5 mostly for the whole week. It did hit 3 a couple times, but I'm not sure if that is available. You can go ahead and check that if you want, Tyler, because I'm not sure. I am actually going to take the Colts here to bounce back, even though it is the square side. Look, they've had a 3-game skid. Panthers just got their first win, but to me, it was not impressive by any means. I think the Texans underperformed. The Colts, they've faced some pretty tough defenses. I mean, they recently went against the Saints, the Browns, and the Jaguars. I just think, and they've put up points on those teams, for that matter. But this Panthers team is just soft, and I'm not buying it. I think that you'll see the public come in a little bit on the Panthers here, even though the square side is the Colts, and I'll give you that. But I like the Colts 2.5 spread unit. I'm going to put a 1.5 units on it.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, but on the opposite side. I'm putting a 1.5 units on Panthers plus 2.5. I finally seen something that I can say, okay, the Panthers are doing something that's good in football. They were actually calling up good scheme plays for Bryce. They came off the bye. I actually seen some motion out there. Like I said, I seen a good offensive scheme finally. It was still a low-scoring game between them and the Texans, but Bryce Young, I said Bryce Hall initially, Bryce Young and that Panthers offense was actually able to move the ball up and down the field consistently. So I think that carries over here against a bad Colts defense at home and catching points, catching the home dog plus 2.5, and I'm putting a 1.5 units on it as well. I think Minshew Magic is out of style. I don't like betting against Shane Steichen, but I just think it's a bad spot for him here. And yeah, I could see Panthers winning outright, but I'm getting the points, so plus 2.5, 1.5 units play.
Next up, we got the Giants at the Raiders. This number was initially at 3 all week. It's not really a great game for us to bet on.
What do we do with this?
The Raiders lose on Monday Night Football. They fired Josh McDaniels. They're shipping everybody off. They
fired the GM. They fired Josh McDaniels. They benched Jimmy Garoppolo. Aiden O'Connell's getting the start. We have no idea what's going on with the Giants.
I'll tell you what we do with this, though. What is the public going to do with that information, brother?
They're going to take the Giants, so we're going to take the Raiders minus 1.5.
Yes, we are. We've seen in the past that firing a head coach doesn't always warrant
sometimes good for the locker
negative
room.
sentiment. Yeah, sometimes it can ignite like a rally of sorts. So it's probably going to be Daniel Jones in this one, but we're still not even 100% on that. But I mean, we're pretty sure. But yeah, I'll take the Raiders after that, bad Monday night loss, and the public's perception is that they're done, they're tanking. But I can't back the Giants here at plus 1.5 either. I don't feel great on either side, but I think just to fade the public, I'll go with the Raiders minus 1.5 regular unit.
Same here. Regular unit play minus 1.5. Aiden O'Connell, bro. Look, you got Devontae Adams on the team. Throw him the ball.
Yeah.
And I think I've actually played you in fantasy this week, and don't you have Devontae?
Yeah, I have Devontae.
And I think I have Josh Jacobs. Maybe throw Josh Jacobs the ball too. He's good too, or he was in the past. But yeah, you got some weapons. I think Devontae, he does want out of Vegas, but he's happy to see Josh McDaniels go. He wasn't getting enough targets, wasn't involved in the scheme enough, whatever. But yeah, we've seen this in the past. It seems like all hell is broken loose once you fire your GM and head coach and everything.
The Panthers last year, when they did it, They started a
They
covering
started
rally,
playing good.
like
Yeah,
a
and like
rally of covering.
well, when you have an interim coach, he has to come in there and like talk to the locker room. Like the locker room's already talking like, hey, we're in this together. We're gonna still. They're what four? They're 3-5. I mean, they're favored to win this game. They could be 4-5. Like they're still not out of the mix.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you regular unit play Raiders -1.5 is sharp, and I like it.
Next up, we got the Cowboys at the Eagles. So I think the public perception is somewhat that the Eagles, they're a little banged up. Jalen Hurts is hobbling in these past couple games. The Cowboys just routed the Rams and injured Matt Stafford out of the game, and I think that people are sleeping on the Eagles at home here. I don't know. I'm leaning Eagles -2.5.
All right, think about it. Let me see if I can talk you off the ledge a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I initially looked at this as well, and I just had nightmares of Cowboys going into San Francisco on Monday night, Dak needing to play in a big spot and getting routed. Both times these teams played last year, a lot of time. One game was with Cooper Rush as quarterback. The other game was Gardner Minshew because of quarterback injuries. First time Jalen and Dak's been squared off against each other since the year before last. Jalen Hurts does play better at home. The line is set perfect. It should be 3. These two teams are very evenly matched. But if Eagles lose this game, we don't lose any faith in the Eagles. This is pressure on Dak. Dak has to perform in this spot. They came off the bye. They strutted their stuff against the Rams. They need this game more than the Eagles do. And I love betting on desperation. And even though like they're still in the wild card mix or whatever, like they would fall to I think 5-3. They are desperate for a win against a solid team. Cowboys and the points is the side.
See, when I first looked at this game, though, I was like, I kind of like the Cowboys, and then you talked me on to the Eagles. But I actually think that the Eagles is the right side. When I looked at
3/4 of the bets are coming in on Philly. I looked on multiple sites. It's all in the 70% Philly -3 at home, which makes sense because people think that Dak and Dallas cannot play in big spots, and it may be true. We may be walking into that trap yet again. But what do I always say? People talk about how you can't get over the hump until you do.
Yeah.
Dak gets over the hump in a divisional game. They tied at that's the storyline going into next week is that they're tied at the top of the NFC East, both with 2 losses.
No, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna just stay with the Eagles. I see it -2.5 out there. I'm reaching. I'll take that because I need it for this one. But yeah, like I looked at the trends in the home team, even when they were heavy favorites. Sometimes they've covered 8 out of the last 10 in this 2-team matchup. So I don't know. That gives me a little bit more pause to just take the Eagles, even though it is the public side. It's just I feel like the public perception somewhat, though, is that the Eagles, they almost gave up a loss to the Commanders and the Cowboys just smacked the Rams. So I am a little bit surprised that 60-some% are coming in on the Eagles, but it's a home favorite. I'm not surprised, so that's probably why too. But yeah, I'll take the Eagles -2.5.
Where you found a 2.5 out there?
Yeah. Do you not see it?
I've seen it just sit at 3 all week. I haven't seen it move to 2.5, 3.5 or anything.
Literally right before I recorded, I was looking at it because I was like, that gives me a little bit more confidence to take it for sure. Let me see.
If you got it, then I mean, I just like I said, I've literally haven't seen this line moved from 3 at all this week.
Yeah, FanDuel, they've got a -2.5. It's got juice on it, like 118, but I mean,
okay. Dang, that kind of makes me want to be like, oh, Philly -2.5. It's that close. It's that close with me. I mean, the line is set where it should be at 3.
See, but my initial jerk reaction was to take the Cowboys. So then it's like,
and I was the opposite. My initial was Eagles.
Yeah, so that's interesting. We're gonna see how that.
I'm putting
out.
a half. I'm putting a half.
You're putting
just
a half
because I flip flop. Jalen, it's just it's whenever he goes on, not just the tush push, but like a brotherly shove.
That play right there is going to be the reason that they can. I mean, converting on 4th down at a 90% rate.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
They got a good. They Demarcus Lawrence might have something to say about that in the middle, but I'm not. No, they outlawed it.
They outlawed it. Like you can't. They
Yeah, where there's been so many injuries and stuff in the past couple weeks, they outlawed it.
really. I did not
Yeah,
even notice that. Oh my god.
but
So
when
they
Jalen
can't.
goes
They
on
can't
these,
run it.
when
Wow.
Jalen goes on these longer runs, though, like whenever even when he slides and stuff, he's just getting up. He's like, he just doesn't look like he's like mean mugging all the time out there. Don't you see that? Like whenever he gets up, like
He's
he's just like,
grimacing. Yeah.
yeah, but he's tough. Like apparent, and there has been reports that he has um he has like some type of broken bone in his foot and that he's just playing through. So he's I mean he's a dog. I like Jalen Hurts a lot, but that's what I'm saying. It
Uh,
just seems kind of like there's no pressure for the Eagles to win this. I think they go into a bye if I'm not mistaken next week. I can't quite remember, but yeah, I'm just gonna ride with the points because like, the line's set where it is, and it's a half unit game, but it's a game I'm definitely gonna be tuning into, watching every snap.
Yeah, it's a tough one because when you have a high bet game and the line is set perfectly, there's not a lot of edge in that. I mean, I don't blame you for half unit because this is going to be probably one of the most bet games of the week, and those are usually good ones for Vegas. So it's not a bad idea to just be cautious with this one. But yeah, I like the Eagles -2.5 regular unit.
Okay.
Next up, we got the Bills at the Bengals. The public is coming in hot on the Bengals after they just beat the 49ers last week. This line
Crap
opened
game.
at -1.5, and it's made its way to 2.5 and 3 earlier in the day today. I was going to double unit the +3 on the Bill side, but it's down to 2. So some sharp groups must have came in and grabbed that during their lunch break today. Um, is this a DeMar Hamlin revenge game, or what do you think?
No, no, it's not a Damar Hamlin. The Damar Hamlin game didn't even matter.
Right.
Yeah, they stopped it. So this is a Bills revenge from the playoffs, playing horribly in Cincinnati, winning. But yeah, no, this is the trap game of the week. Even though it's such a you're gonna be getting so many bets on both sides, which is cool. But I'm putting double unit on Bills +2. They went outright here. They coming off 10 days of rest. They haven't been playing their best football, but we know that this is a roller coaster of a team. They just signed what's his first? I can't remember. Something Douglas. He's the number 2 cornerback from the Packers. So they strengthened up that secondary some. And yeah, they just. I don't think we've seen their best football in the past few weeks, but Josh Allen usually gets up in these types of games. Beating Kansas City last year in the regular season when they were underdogs on the road in Kansas City. Same situation here. Everybody thinks Joe Burrow and Bengals are back, and I do too. I still think that they're going to make playoffs, that they're a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. But Bills catch them here, and like I said, get a little bit of revenge from that playoff game. And like the public is, I know I'm ranting a little bit, but the public's coming in so much on this Bengals team, and the line is going the other way. So that usually tells you that all of the sharps are taking Bills, and I am going to ride with them. Double unit play +2 Buffalo.
I'll take the Bills +2, but just regular unit because I think early in the week some sharp groups liked the Bengals, so I'll be cautious with it. I think the same thing with the Chiefs Dolphins. I know the later line movement, the sharps are taking the dogs, but our early line movement pushed the favorites in that direction too. And sometimes the early bettors can be sharp. Not a lot of people open their sports books early in the week and take bets, so. I don't know. It's these are these games, the Chiefs, Dolphins, the Cowboys, Eagles, and the Bills. I mean, these are
Well, the thing
great
about that,
football matchups. Like,
I want to make a point about that too. It's a little bit off script, but it's okay. Um, in the beginning of the week, sports books from like when we say we're taking the sharp side, like I'm being sharp here, we're not betting thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on these games.
you're not.
But they're
I'm
but
just
they're
kidding.
no, I'm not. I mean,
I was saying I
they're
was. No, I'm just kidding.
no. Oh, okay. But the ones that actually shift the lines a little bit, they're not really allowed to. Books don't take
They
big
hedge
wager.
themselves. They move it, yeah, because they're like, whoa, we saw a big little chunk come in right there, and we don't know if that line is just perfect yet.
They won't even take a lot of them won't even take over a certain amount at the beginning of the week though.
Right.
So that like when you see like line movement stuff, they're trying to adjust it for a weekend for when they actually do start taking big wagers.
Right.
So it's not like you can go, people that do this professionally, you can go on Monday and load up like $100,000 on a side. There's not a sports book out there that'll take it on a Monday. You have to wait till later in the week until
Right.
they can get more of a read on what's going on. So I just wanted to make that. We can bet it because the amounts that we bet, we can bet it Monday through Sunday. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But
They're
no,
not
the
scared
people
of
that
us.
the really sharps that come in, yeah, you can't just put whatever you want come Monday right when the lines drop.
I'm just pissed I didn't get that +3. That was big time.
I am
double
too.
unit.
It's a double unit play for me. So I mean, I'd like to have the extra point, but I think Bills win outright. So
Fair enough. Next up and last up, we got the Chargers at the Jets. We haven't done that well Monday Night Football, but do you feel strongly about this one? I mean, right away, I just feel like here the Chargers are road favorites in prime time, usually a spot to fade them, but it's set right at the number 3, which it's almost like a push kind of game. I would lean Jets +3. What do you think?
yeah, I am too. It's a regular unit for Jets +3. It's you go back and forth, and you're like, is Justin Herbert and this offense good enough to put up points on this really good Jets defense at home, or is Zach Wilson, is he so bad he can't put up points against this horrible Chargers defense at home? It's
They cancel each other out. It's very I mean, the Jets
It
have
does.
done well in pressure in these big time offensive games. Like the teams are very offensive oriented. They've shut them kind of down or kept them kind of close. And I just
But looking on a couple different sites, it is not an obvious public side. The Chargers were receiving a little bit more of the tickets, but the Jets are also missing three offensive linemen in this game. So Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, they could have a day against poor little Zach Wilson. I am going to take the points and ride with it as a normal unit play. Like I said, it's not one of the games I love. I may actually just put a half unit on it.
I'm half unit it because it feels like the Giants Jets game last week. It feels like there's no edge. It's just +3. It's just like, here you go. I don't love it. I just don't. Even if I took the Chargers -3, I would definitely half unit that.
I'm gonna keep with a full unit on it because I feel like most people will come in and take the Chargers after them demolishing the Bears last week and the Jets looking like they couldn't move the football against the Giants. So I just see that public perspective, and I think most people open up the app. They're like, oh, Chargers,
Yeah.
But who knows? But it was cool to see. Did you see the video of Aaron Rodgers out there actually doing drop backs, throwing the football?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
Need to
it's
watch.
crazy. It is at the end of It was at the end of October. It was on in the middle of last. It was like Monday or Tuesday over this week, and he is actually not in pads or anything, but he's out there on the field dropping back, throwing the ball down the field.
Modern medicine.
I don't know what
did
he's
they-
like. Ayahuasca just heals the Achilles. Apparently.
What did they
I don't
pump
know
him
what's
full
going
of, bro? I mean, he's an old man.
idea.
He's an old man. Ain't no way he should be recovering that quick.
But we disagree on a few. We usually go, 2-2, 3-2, 2-1. On the few we disagree. Hopefully it's like that, and one of us don't just bomb this week or something. But we just gotta hope that. Like I said, we were halfway. This will be halfway through the season, and for us to say that we went halfway through the season without. You had one losing week. You went 7-9 one time, but I've been 500 or better every week. And to say that I've made it halfway through the season doing that would be a great accomplishment. So
Yeah,
these picks need a hit, man.
especially when these sports books, they don't love us. They're out to get us, and we're trying to beat them. Ultimately, we're competing against each other, but ultimately, we're just trying to beat Vegas in the books. We're just trying to stay
competing against my
profitable.
bookie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't sent him any money this year yet. He might cut me off soon, but Like I said, it's not like I'm wagering too crazy of amounts, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get this week.
But thanks for tuning in. Tune in to our recap video Monday, where we'll probably know who the better of week 9 is. Like the video if you enjoyed the content, and come on back for week 10. We haven't missed a profitable week yet, and hopefully we didn't just jinx ourselves. But thanks for tuning in. As always, let's cover the spread. Peace.